I actually think this is the beginning of a great new era of leadership, collaboration, and innovation. But it is going to require a different approach for managers, not just managers actually, but actually teams and individuals. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, what that means. Managers aren't going to, it's not a top down thing anymore. It's much more of a collaborative shared leadership model that takes a lot of some of the pressure off of managers, but also requires a different model of leading than perhaps managers are used to. So first, for managers, what this looks like is actually the mastery of the basics of good management and leadership, which sadly, I think we do a terrible job helping managers do. And we're seeing the result of that in the pandemic, as you have some managers who've done a really great job um, knowing how to manage, and others that are floundering because they didn't have those basics going into the crisis. So when you can't manage based on, again, who is sitting in the office with you, which I've gone into enough organizations to know there are a lot of managers that do that, because I know this is for a fact, because the minute we start talking about flexibility and remote work, they look at me in all seriousness and say, how am I supposed to know if they're working if they're not here? And I do not judge. I do not judge that question. I just calmly ask, so how do you measure that now? Because it shouldn't really change. And when I get the blank stares that I get, I realize, okay, they literally are managing them by them being here. And this is really scary for them, because that means they have to manage differently. So, you really do need to know how to set clear priorities and expectations. You have to know how to establish performance metrics, check in regularly to understand progress, provide growth opportunities, problem solve. Now, this is sort of the new model. It's much more problem solving and coaching and having empathy, and not just, again, just not tasking people, but really playing that role in the organization. And if you are not developing these skills within your organization right now, if they don't have that kind of training and manager support, then seek it out elsewhere, get it elsewhere, because in this flexible dynamic hybrid model, which is only going to evolve further, you really are going to need these skills to be successful.